everybody. I think I know almost everybody here. So this is our 360 workshop. I'm Kelly Saxberg and a local filmmaker. And maybe we could just start with if everybody can introduce themselves so we all know who we all are. And then if you've had any experience, like watched 360 on YouTube or tried out the Oculus yet or on a cardboard or anything. So and then I'll introduce, or you can introduce yourself, Kelly, and maybe.
My name is Gala, and I'm a graduate student at Lakehead University, and I took Kelly's 360 video workshop a few weeks ago. I've been stitching video ever since.
Okay. Martin?
Hey, I'm Martin King, the volunteer bartender.
Sometime after.
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Artist. Amazing filmmaker.
Yes.
Humble.
Okay, Shirley? We're just introducing. You don't have to film all this.
I'm filming here.
Yeah, but who are you and
I'm
have you
Shirley
had
Owen, and I'm a student at LU. I'm Bella's mother, and I'm learning how to film.
Okay, and have you had any 360? Have you seen? Have you tried the Oculus?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're just introducing ourselves and saying if you have had any 360 experiences, what they were.
Yes, I'm Michelle Rosier, and I have not. I actually did check out at Sundance, and that was like my first sort of time trying it out. So, but that was it. It was like the same sort of thing. I mean, there's a couple of but it was like a helmet, but it was kind of like the same idea. I don't know if it was just more like the helmet. Like you put on this and they lowered it and they had to help you, and put on this, and so it was like you had this big gigantic like skidoo helmet.
Oh, okay.
And it was like wicked. You kind of had to hold it, and it was just I was kind of sick. It's pretty intense, but it was cool. So
Yeah, that's a theme.
Same thing, right? Same sort of concept of doing 360.
Okay, well it's good because there's not that many of us, so we'll all get to have a good session checking it all out.
Yeah, and Zoe, I did. I have checked out a couple 3D experiences. I'm not sure if it was the same model of the who's called the Oculus. But yeah.
I'm Paula, and I tried one out a few weeks ago. Like it was. I went to a certain website on my phone, and then this slipped into the glasses, and then I put it on, and I didn't realize actually exactly what I was looking at. I was just standing there, watching, and then for some reason I just turned my head, and then I didn't realize it initially, but then I realized that whenever I turned, I could see more, and my mind was blown for a minute until I realized what I was doing.
Watching right now, but later it will be recorded and I can edit it, and so if you don't want to be in it, then I guess I should have clarified that at the beginning. One of our, and Riaz, you better introduce yourself. Yes.
My name is Riaz Mahmood. I'm a technical coordinator here at the Basic Film Festival and also visual artist. So last year, one of the visiting filmmaker, he was here from Israel, and he was very interested in 360 projection, and I'm interested in that. So we started talking, and it was the first time that I saw 360 on his, I think it was a headset.
I think it was the Gear VR with the Samsung.
So I saw it and I liked it. And then Kelly and I started talking about bringing the workshop, some kind of workshop and experts here, so we can have this technology introduced to local filmmakers, artists, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and to just follow up, so Yarden Gat, he is a filmmaker, came from Israel. He made a film and he promised himself that the first film festival that accepted his film, he would go to it. and we were Bay Street Film Festival, 2005, our very first film festival. He came, and he like flew from Tel Aviv to Toronto and took the bus because he had no idea where we were. Anyway, so 3 days later, he got here, and then 15 years later, or sorry, 12 years later, he came back last November and for a shoot, and he shot, but not with a 360 rig. He shot, actually, he had a camera, and he shot some people in limbo. So they were all they were filmed in black with lighting. He had the camera on its side, so it would be the right aspect ratio. And then, and he was making it's not a commercial, but it was like to promote the lot of startup companies in Israel are developing new technology. So there was one that was like some kind of emoticon thing that you would communicate through texting, but with little little pictures. And so they did this thing where he filmed it, but he choreographed it so they'd be looking in the right place, but one person at a time. Just the same way that you film a regular movie. It's like with one camera and you keep going from different angles. Then he stitched it together. George Renner, who you guys worked with for your film, he stitched it together, and then then they added animation over top of it. The emoticons, they would be texting, and then these little colorful decals would fly through the air, and then you would watch it in like an oculus setting where you can look all around 360, so you'd see one person here, one person here, one person here, and then someone in the back, and then they had a dialogue, and so it's kind of like using the 360 thing but for drama, not just like some kind of wild experience where you're looking off of a cliff or having some kind of experience, but actually kind of telling a mini story. And in this case, it was to display what they were doing. So that was kind of interesting. And then so we applied for an Ontario Arts Council Northern Arts grant and got it. And then instead of bringing in Yarden, we connected up with a guy named Scott Herman. And this is his PowerPoint. So he came, and another mentor was Eugene Mishibenjinma, and he's an original Flash Frame member, and the workshop was for Flash Frame, but he is a self-taught 3D modeler and animator who's worked for Frantic Films and Ubisoft, doing gaming, and then I was chatting with him, and he was working for a company called Cinco, which does 360, but more for like commercials. So like say you're a Ford and you want to show off your new truck, but you want people to like put a headset on and they're in the truck, right? It's all there, all 360, you look all around, and it's created. So he worked for a company doing contract. So he came, and his thing is, and we can talk about that a little bit later, but how you put all of the, you can add on. So you can shoot in 360, where you're, like you've had the headset. Welcome. And Daniel, do you want to, we just all went around quickly and introduced ourselves.
Okay, hi everybody, my name is Daniel, I'm from Toronto, I've been here for 2 hours, my film's screening right now, and I'm killing time until it's done, so
Okay,
love
well,
to join.
join us, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. And have you done any 360?
I have, yes.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, so we're just talking about how a filmmaker who came to our original festival came back with and sort of exposed us to 360, and then we got an Ontario Arts Council grant. And so then we got a fellow named Scott Herman. I'll talk a little bit more. And Eugene, who is a 3D modeler, and he's been creating animated, like, so he's built literally the 360. He can build a 360-degree environment and add animation layer and interactivity. because where is like most of this 360 has been developed for gaming, right? So that 360 world, I think we've got it here. You'll see it on the Oculus, but you can, look all around. You can swipe it. But the thing that's interesting is that they also added 2D elements. So like when Inuit elders were talking about how climate change was affecting them, then it would go to like a 2D shot where so your subtitles are right there, and they really were just learning how to use 360 for storytelling. And what they used to shoot was the same thing that we got. Like, so we contacted Scott. He told us what cameras they use, how they do it. This is our 360 rig, and it's 6 GoPros. And you just have to make sure that they all have very square, natural light settings. Anyways,
They're not any different. They're just like the regular GoPro.
they're the regular
but
GoPro 4s,
But yeah.
blacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Nice.
And then this rig, there's many different kinds of ways of doing it. Let's just see if he's got some. You'll see this. So it's the same idea, 10 cameras, and so everything has been done before. Basically, is the lesson there. And here is like your projector. Here is one of the early ones. About 10 years ago, they started doing 360, but it really was there wasn't the speed and the internet, and they didn't have the delivery with it. Is create that shared experience. So anyway, so what is 360 video? This is an image of what it looks like when you stitch all of these cameras, all of the shots from these cameras together. When you stitch them, and so that the horizon is basically mapped out. And you'll see later. Callie will show you the stitching program. But this is kind of like a visual of what you see, right? So you see, there's the glasses. That's what it's looking. That's sort of what's there. Oops. So look, if you think about a globe, that's what you end up with. That's the experience that you get in the Oculus, is that 360. But to work with it, it stitches together and it creates this kind of square thing. So, anyway, here's just a million different cameras. We talked about, and you can get these cameras, this Ricoh Theta. It's now you can get those. People get them so that they can sort of test out their shot, because obviously you can't see what it possibly can be. So it's a lot of experimenting. And but there's this Ricoh Theta it's only like $500, right? But it's 2 cameras going around, and people are even streaming live. And there's a million YouTube videos on how to do it and see it. And YouTube has a 360 channel. Anything you do 360, you inject this metadata, some information, and it will. Half of the thing is sound too, and also storytelling. And this is lightweight, easy. And there's a couple of things that are challenged. And some of them are, well, this is just a way of putting it static. But of course, you can see they've made kind of like a zip line rig. So if they want to move, so they just invented that. It's in its infancy. But people all around the world are coming up with cool ways of moving that 360 camera. So I don't know why this isn't showing the whole thing, but anyway, you don't need to. There's just like a million. Okay, so principles of how we made 360. So I'll just give you what we learned in a nutshell. And what we'll do is we'll just do a little shot right now. So the most important thing is that all your cameras. So this little rig, I think this little and I took it over to Dennis at Cinovate, and he said this is just created with a 3D printer, but it's called the Freedom 360, and it's just got, you just screw in your GoPros, and you'll notice the housing is off them, so there's no waterproof or anything, and then you can get GoPro has the remote, and it can sync all 6 cameras. So you have to make sure all the Wi-Fi's are on, and this little rig here is a prototype, so it's a little, but it is. I have filmed like off of the cliff and stuff, and we didn't lose it yet. But so for filming, you know, you can sometimes just easy to just turn them all on if the Wi-Fi is off, the setting for the Wi-Fi. So, oh yeah, that's how I turned all the Wi-Fi. Now, one of the drawbacks with this GoPro system is that the true limitation is battery. So, Callie, you want to help me? Just make sure so to turn the Wi-Fi on, you just press these buttons for like 2 seconds, the ones on the side, and then you see if the Wi-Fi is on. One thing that we found was we did like a 2-day workshop, so you're getting like the mini, super speedy. But then really, until we went out and found all the practical things, we really, like, the first few shots meant they didn't work, because, well, actually one of our cameras like froze. So now we can see, it's got 3, 4 cameras. We just gotta look around. Do they all have Wi-Fi? Can you see them? Are they all on? 4 cameras. Oh, no, this one, 3, doesn't have Wi-Fi. And, oh, this one is, oh. You gotta hold it. And I was just charging all these, and this one, the battery is already down to like 1/4. So that is the big problem. Okay, so now we've got 5 cameras ready. Can you see? They all have to have that little Wi-Fi. Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Okay, now we got 6 cameras. Okay, so the other thing, now here is our charger. Like once you have the Wi-Fi all on, but if you leave the Wi-Fi on and then turn them all off, the Wi-Fi slowly kills all your batteries. Mm-hmm. So that's just like a silly thing. This was my solution, because I thought we bought a lot of extra batteries, right? Because I know from just having my own GoPro that if you use a remote, or if you use your telephone, because you can view what the camera's doing if you hook it up to the telephone, and it just kills the battery like so quickly. So, and that's no good. You've gone all the way out. But imagine you have to like unscrew it, take the battery out, put it back in. So this is the solution. Here it looks like a rat's nest, but I just plug it all in to the USB port in here and charge them all up at the same time.
And the Wi-Fi is in order to connect.
The remote.
Yeah.
So then now because it's an issue of syncing. You can, if you didn't have a remote, you can still do it. You just make sure they're all recording. Okay, so but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a shot. Now there's one other issue that you have to be thinking of, and that is that, you know, all of these cameras have like a little bit of an overlap, right? And which later in the stitching you can choose one or the other, but they have an overlap. And so, but also if you are a meter within a meter, you can fall into the parallax, it's called, and so you'll see where you'll kind of disappear, right? So that's problematic. You can't be super close because then you just have this problem with parallax. But that, I mean, that's okay. That's why it's fun to have it high enough. And then, okay, so now when you're going to record, you just hit record. Okay, and then, okay, so they're all recording. Now, what you do is you give it a turn. And now that's how, in the stitching, they're going to be able to, and then the other second way is the old-fashioned way. Give 3 solid claps, because you can sync either by the, and the reason that you turn it is you've got 6 cameras, so you can like, you know, so, but they all will be turning at the same time. So the stitching program detects that motion, and then you're going to have also your backup is the sound. So now and then say you want your ambionic recording. So I won't bother with that now, but you just turn that and then have it recording at the same time. And of course you do the clapping, and that's how you're going to be able to sync that up later. But also you need to sort of know, and I can't remember which way the microphone is facing when you have, which is the front, you know what I mean? So that you know that this microphone is syncing to this particular camera, this array. It's going this way. So, and because all these cameras are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of the video and all the cards in them are all labeled. So anyway, so that's enough of that. So now I've quit recording, and then what I'll do is then now that I've got the sync, now that the Wi-Fi's turned on all of them, now we're ready to go. We can like run outside and get a quick shot. Do you want to do that? We could do it and then we'll stitch it. So it'll be more interesting than here. We'll just go out and get a shot with all of us.
So I'm not concerned about that. It's the live stream that bothers me the most. There's no editing. No one really likes giving away my docs, and it's very important to have some online privacy, I think. Because otherwise people can come to your house and murder you. It happens. People call the cops on people just for fun. All you need is somebody's address, and you can call the cops and say that they've got a murder on their hands. The cops will come, guns blazing. It's horrifying. You have to do it.
I mean, you've heard about the stuff happening downstairs. Like I said, there's a lot of crazies up there. My other side of the sandwich. She makes so good sandwiches over there.
I made myself a yummy soup this morning.
She had soup over there, or where was the soup?
I made my soup at home.
Oh, you made soup. Have you ever tried that? There's that diet soup.
Well,
Kind
there's
of
a
like
lot of
sacred part.
diet.
It's not really a diet soup. It's just the idea that you're just eating the soup. It's just like veggies and tomato sauce.
Oh, I
Tomatoes.
think any diet food is a joke. You should never follow.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this was really diet food. It's just a soup, and you're kind of like flushing out everything else because you're just eating the veggies. Like it's just a vegetable
Your
soup.
body doesn't like. I've
But
heard a lot
they-
about. It's
but-
it's called a detox or whatever.
what happened to me was, and it's happened more than once, because I like the soup.
Yeah.
But I have the soup for like 3 days, and on the 4th day, I get so sick, I can't.
Well, it's important for
I
your
get
body
a-
to have
I get this
fun.
like massive headache,
Yeah.
and like totally am non-functioning.
But
And I
that's
don't know what
because
it
you're
is,
not-
it's like,
That's
It's-
because you're not getting the proper nutrition.
well, it actually has like, I mean, every single vegetable possible.
Yeah, but you have to also get
Some
certain.
protein.
You have vitamins and proteins and stuff that you
Mhm.
can't just get from drink. That's why it's so important to eat a different meal all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like detoxing is like a joke. It's unhealthy for you because your body doesn't work that way.
Different things. Your name has been mentioned in the last 3 days
It's the motor starting up.
that should not be a sound for the motor though.
Yeah.
Sounds. Well, it's another thing that they'll have to find money for, right?
They need to start using this room.
Oh, they were using it, but now apparently, well, if you look on the website, there's like the calendar is empty till 2017.
It's depressing.
They've got Culture Day in there. That's it. Like next week. They don't even have this one.
How much does it cost to use this room?
I'm sure they've changed the price, but it was $100.
I bet it would be really fun to bring a bunch of. How much does it cost to have somebody tend bar?
I think that was $15 an hour on their new thing. But if you had somebody with Smart Serve, they could do it for you, right?
Have Smart Serve. I was just thinking it'd be really fun to invite. Say you get a whole bunch of university students and you get some board games and board game night here.
Hmm.
You know, for $100.
I was bartending for a birthday party,
Yeah.
and they just had their family and friends here.
For
And bar, right?
$150, you get enough people. Do it every weekend. I'm sure that a lot of people like board games and stuff.
They have that gaming room thing, bookshelf. They just made it 360.
The other one didn't work at all. Okay. Now. Okay, so now what we do is I will turn these all off. And Callie will show you, and you might want to come a little closer so you can sort of see what he's doing. And what I do is you literally just take all of these all have 64 gig flashcards. So I'll give you see that little bag? Oh yeah, I have this little bag here. Okay, I just gotta grab this. Okay, so this comes with this little nifty bag, but this is just a little flash reader. So these are like 64 gigs, so you can put a lot of shots on them. It automatically, so you can just start loading those in. I'll just pull them all out. Oh, yeah, I'll do one in order. It's better to do it in order. Or
It'll figure it out.
it'll figure it out, yeah. So so you just see here all these little GoPros, they just have the little flash. And now the reason that this is a PC and it has to be a PC because to be able to handle 6 videos to stitch into one, you need a really strong video card, and the Macs don't have a strong enough video card. So we bought this computer specially for this project. So this camera, some of these weren't off when I pulled the video card out, which is and one thing that you'll notice, you know, we were only shooting for like minutes, right? But if you touch this, it's warm. And that is one of the big problems with these rigs, because there's like 6 cameras and they're all back to back. And so overheating, especially if you're like filming in a hot sunny day, that's problematic. So here's number 4. Is that okay now? Okay, so what they do is they use like liquid air to cool it if they have to when they're on a shoot. And he said when they did that, I think they went through 21 cameras on that big production. So basically when you're doing 360, I mean this camera rig, I think it cost us about $2,500. It's like about $600 a camera. And we got a good deal from Image Tech, one of our sponsors, John Griggs. He's a local guy. And but anyway, so that's just some of the technical things. And then so now what Callie is doing is the GoPro has just a little software so that when you're importing all of your material from your cameras, all of these cards, you'll see I've labeled them. So I always put 5 in camera 5. And camera 5 is on this little rig, it's labeled camera 5. So the computer, once it knows, it will know the configuration, that stitching software, because we told that stitching software, which cost us a couple of, like, how much did our stitching software cost?
$1,000?
Yeah, $1,000. And
900 something.
and you tell it what camera configuration, that it was the GoPro Hero 4. And then, so it knows how to stitch it all together with the placement of the cameras. And that's why it's really important to label your shots. Oh, so did you delete? Oh, that was me. So the last one will be it's the last one. Yeah, because I had the wrong.
Did you
I
guys
had-
go out or?
What our first camera that we bought, one of the 6 that we bought, would froze like the first time we used it. So we had to send it back. But luckily, I had a GoPro 4, so I just swapped it out with mine. But then I was really sick of waiting for the new one, and I wanted to use it just as a regular GoPro. So that's why I had changed all the settings on my Hero 2. Otherwise, all of our shots wouldn't have worked if I hadn't noticed that I had done that, changed all that settings. So now, have you, okay, so now,
We got all 6 cameras in one folder here. And then we just take all 6 and drop them into the new project.
this is the stitching software called AutoPano Pro. And there's 2 different kinds. There's one that is, this is just the rough stitch, which is like your first time stitch. And then the second one is like for more fine stitching. We haven't really got to that yet. So,
And then you have to specify the time or?
can I? Is 6 done?
Yeah.
And like say you have a series of shots. Well, one of the things when you're setting up this, for example, is that I made sure I synchronized the time and date stamp on all of them, which was like kind of tricky, but I tried to do it as exactly as possible so that then when I'm recording later, all of your shots have a time and date stamp. But it's really not that complicated because at first we thought we had to like relabel camera 1, shot 2, and we did that. It was like this huge process. But then, if you want to explain why we don't have to do that.
The software pretty much just places the cameras in the exact right position. It figures out where each camera goes. First we have to sync all the cameras. So you set your search range here. And then you set your search
Should we switch it to the big channel?
Can we?
Yeah.
unplug.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Do you wanna, or
Not from here.
yeah, because we're not going to look at the oculus yet. But so say you do 5 shots on the cards, but then you can see every folder. Like it will create a folder for each camera, and then so camera 1 will have a shot at 3 p.m. and then a shot at 3:05 p.m. But they're always going to be going in order, right? So then what you have to do is you just take each shot from each camera, and you put them in their own folder by shot, right? So shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. So then you have to sync each shot one at a time. So there we go. Okay, so now it's okay. So go on, Hallie.
Yeah, so we use the motion to sync, and it's syncing based off of that movement or turning of the camera. It's finding it's syncing all the videos together.
And the time specifies the time that the current timeline is, or your cursor is,
Yeah.
and it will do it forward and backward. But if you just at the start, you just do the forward 30 seconds, you try to find the motion.
Yeah. Now we might have taken our time. I mean, we started it, but it might have taken you more than 20 seconds to turn it. So then it would have a hard time finding it. But we'll see if it finds it. And if not, then we can say do it by sound, by the clapping. So. And
And you can see here it's screen all the stuff.
Oh, I see,
Yes.
yeah.
And once it's done,
Says it works.
Fell on the bench.
Okay. It said it worked? Okay, so now,
Where's the 5 button? Is it?
oh, it looks weird.
Is it?
change the maybe I think
It's like things are missing.
it's yeah, let's switch it back because the pixels, ratios, and everything is off on this one. So we'll switch it for a minute. But this is the whole process. Once we've done this,
Yeah.
then the
And-
second process is finding the horizon, and we will show you here on the small screen.
Yeah.
Because the camera or the software doesn't know what your horizon is. So you can, even if you and you even know that's looking at every aspect everywhere. So you have to set a horizon. But this is my horizon, and that would be your horizon.
How exact does that have to be? Like if you're on the lake and
Yes.
in the waves.
Well, that's
difficult.
and he showed us an example of something that they had a really, really hard time syncing, because if you're like, our camera was like steady, so it's easy to find the horizon, and there's buildings and there's the ground, and it's easy. But if you're on something that is moving, like on the ocean, it's very difficult, and so they had a hard time. Now you can always sync by like hand, or by using the audio is important. That's why it's good to have a second. Or you could literally try to do it. You can program it in. But anyways, but it's really important, because if you're out of sync, then it's just not, the magic isn't gonna work.
And then we have to do a lot of like this plans on hardware to do. You have to go to your new plans. And you have to do manually some a lot of massaging.
Yeah.
Put it out there. Where these two cameras, two frames, they cross, there are points. So you can select the point, you can select the points, and based on that, you can kind of connect. So it's a lot of work. It could be done, but then it's more manual work.
Can you, will it apply?
Yeah, so
It's better to see it if you can.
we applied the synchronization, and then we stitched all the videos together.
And the timeline is here, so it's kind
Okay, there.
of, it's rendering it.
And then
Because it's like 6 footages, it's like a lot, really big frame too. So you need a big powerful computer for those, otherwise it would take more time.
And it must take a certain element of your memory as well. You gotta ensure
Yes.
you've got a good enough memory of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why like the new computers are better, the old computers sometimes they might take more time or might not be better.
okay, so so here we have our shot, and so now you can show them how you,
Yeah, so you have to line up the
The whole
horizon.
horizon.
and then you see how our little base plate is kind of like disappearing as the horizon gets better. So that looks pretty good. And then you have to render, and that's when you have to wait. But
Render.
let's try render. Just render a section of it later after we've synced it. Go in out. Just zip along until we. Can you see what? Like go at least 30 seconds. Just go till we're all run away. Yeah, keep going. You'll see there's Selma's just sitting clapping. So later on, and you'll see because she'll. Yeah, render it so you see a little bit of her in the parallax, so you can see that. And then don't do it all the way to the end. Just go, like for a minute. Yeah, even less. We just need a quick shot. Yeah, that's 30 seconds. That'll be good. Okay, so then render it.
And this is kind of same process like when you were editing video editing. You can select like certain
And make is that-
to be rendered.
is that all right? Okay. Yeah. And then okay, so then do we have a name for it? Oh no, that'll come after. Okay. Yeah, name it BSFF. Yeah. And
The SF, so footage.
yeah. So we did this. We had this experience where we went out and tested it, and then came back, and we had a few false starts. And so like the first one was the camera that froze. So then we swapped that out. Then we shot in a small room, and so there was like a lot of parallax, like people going in and out. Then we shot and then this turning the Wi-Fi, the button that turns the Wi-Fi on, you have to press it for 2 seconds. And I was trying to turn it on, but there's no indicator without turning the camera on first, which is a mistake. So that was a whole learning curve. Turn the camera on, put on your Wi-Fi. Then after that, you can have the Wi-Fi on and off. And then, but because it's the same button that gives you a menu, somehow I hit the menu, and because all these buttons are here, even when you put it in that little bag, there is some button that's going to turn on, kill the battery, and it's like almost every single time. So what I do is I put it on the rig, have somebody literally holding it, making sure that there's no camera on, let's make sure they're not on anymore, and it's just like all these things, like the more you go out and shoot, the more that you learn all of the difficulties. But then the magic is when it does work, it's totally cool. Now, what you'll notice is that this looks very washed out and bland, and those are because we have like the blandest settings to have no fluctuation. You can't have it on automatic. You don't want to have it on
More saturation over
too much saturation, because one camera might do it and the other way. But then once it's all, so that the whole idea is that you're not going to, the magic's not going to happen if one looks slightly different. Now you can go in later in another program and do all those little detail-y fix-ups and all that kind of stuff, but it's the same as any other project. The more you have to do in post is always like 100 times more work. So, but for overall just blandness, then we export this, you bring it into Final Cut, and then you color time it however you like, and that's what I did with our other shots. Edit it, a sequence. Yeah, so here's our little shot. And then later we'll be able to look at it in the Oculus, right? Now see, the sun is there, and that's why you see kind of like a weird shadowing. Now this looks kind of, you know, it doesn't look like much, but when you're in the Oculus, it's yeah.
Oh, the guy waved to us.
And then we were
Yeah.
over there,
I noticed that.
and it's magnified, so you actually feel like you're literally right there, and you look down, and you're like seeing the ground, and you look up, you see the sky. Anyway, so we'll all have a look at that. So now you can. Now let's go into the Oculus, and we'll all get to have a look, and then we'll look at the Polar Sea one, and then I can just talk about a few other little additions. But this one is just the experience of doing it, seeing the time that it takes, and so one of the things for production is, imagine you're going out to the bush, and like I was really excited. You know, we have a cliff near our camp, so I wanted to like go through the cliff at sunrise and get that whole kind of thing, and it was kind of scary, but it was like the frame rate got changed, so then that was no. Then it was like something. I wanted to film. Keegan Richard had his film at the waterfront. I wanted to like show it like with the big crowd of people outside on the outside screen, and actually this. I wasn't sure how well this would work for, like, because it had to wait till dark, but it actually was really cool, except one camera had the wrong frame rate, so then there's like a big black spot in your hole, right, of your experience. So now the thing about the whole VR, and Callie will set it all up, because you have to look at the you can choose your wherever you look, the program in that Oculus it shows a little blue dot, and then you click the button, and that is how you select. So you see here's our menu. This is what this is what we see. Okay, so he's gonna go into my videos. And so it's just gonna load in there. And then I think it should have the polar. It's taking so long. Did you take those other ones out?
Yeah.
So there's just these three in there?
Maybe it's just reloading.
Oh, because
It's trying to
we had
find the
find those old ones?
yeah.
So, like any good thing could be like paint drying when you're like the magic of the internet. But while we're doing that, while we're waiting for that, let's try a couple of these. Okay, so
We're going to
is it working?
Yep.
Oh, it's there. Okay, okay, sure.
is somebody going to watch?
Okay, so who wants to watch, and then we'll do. The other people can look at phones. Yeah, go on that. Let
We're going to
yeah, go on the polar sea, and everybody can just have a few minutes of polar sea. So, and then while you're experiencing that, and Shirley, if you can film people.
adjust those.
So now the thing, these are just the opening credits, right? So, yeah, you can, there's not much to see except for the opening credits, but okay, now you can look everywhere. I mean, this is the opening, and so we can see what she's looking at, but everyone who's looking can choose to look wherever they want, which of course is problematic for filmmaking sometimes, because sometimes you want people to like not miss. Like she missed the opening very cool sequence where you go right through the words polar sea, but but anyway.
But it's a different experience every time you watch it.
It is. And at the same time, Emmy, could you set up a couple of phone
Whoa.
cardboards?
Boxes?
Yes, come on over here. And
I'd
so that
rather
people
not.
can- Here,
Let's
there's,
pass some boxes over here.
okay. And then Emmy will set up for you this little cardboard box. And you can put
Can you
almost
grab
any
the phones?
phone. Yeah, I'm bringing phones. And we have this, if on your phone, if you want, and you can buy one of these to take home, $5. And you can put your phone in it.
Oh, this also
It doesn't work very well if you have the case. You got to take it out of the case. But these are
Oh, this one's downloading.
oh, it's still downloading. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
The
Anybody want to see? Wow.
What?
Yes,
That's great.
Oh, okay. It's at our house. I could ask Ron to bring it. He's teaching till 5:30. So I can phone him and ask him to bring it.
Because the movie started quite late this morning.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay then. Okay.
It's
okay.
One of these.
Okay, so while people are waiting their turn, you can come over here and check this out.
You need to see if maybe one of these doesn't work.
Did you put VR? No, because you didn't put VR.
I did press VR.
Oh,
Ow.
okay. Apparently you're supposed to fold them out. You're volunteering later, right? So
Yeah.
so if you're in here at all, this is how you put this in. You just, it's all about the spacing. Obviously, this
Now, are
is.
you getting the feed from the computer, or
No,
are
this
you
is
on
downloading.
Wi-Fi?
This is downloading. Okay, so just hang on to it, like here, and then put it Yeah, and if you have bifocals, you might want to take your glasses off and try.
This one
I
works.
can see better without when I'm looking at something.
Yeah.
Anybody would like
Wow.
to?
Okay.
Yeah.
You tried already?
Oh.
Okay. And then now turn. You can look. Just look all around with it. Yeah. 360.
Oh yeah.
Look up.
No.
Look
This
down.
one's a different
yeah.
thing.
Look
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Here, Martin. Have a check.
Does anyone else want to look at the polar sea?
I'll do it again.
Yeah, try it.
Oh yeah, no. Go try the Oculus, and then you can try this.
Okay.
Um,
Does it stop when we take it off?
Okay. This one is that other password I can't remember.
1046.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it the other,
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
media thing there.
So I haven't. The only thing I haven't figured out is no. Oh, this one doesn't have VR.
Okay, I have to run. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay.
See you
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks, Michelle.
See you around.
You have to press VR. That makes it go
2 screens?
into the two screen.
Oh,
into
that's
the
why
two
it looks
rides.
so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'll follow it. There we go.
I find it so weird that you look down and you're
No
not
feet.
standing.
Oh yeah.
on anything.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
There's
hang
no
on
feet
to the
either.
with your just
Yeah.
so that it doesn't slip. And then now you can look all around. You can put your nose in a little closer till it
Oh,
it
yeah,
fits.
okay, yeah.
Until it looks like it's your eyes. You know, it's
Yeah.
like looking at a pair of binoculars, right?
Yeah.
To get it.
Cross-eyed a bit.
Yeah, you got to get kind of like wonky eyed.
Wonky eyes. Anyways, this one works too.
Okay.
It's all of
Yeah,
us.
that's pretty cool.
Oh, is this our shot? Oh, hey.
You know, I have makeup on this cardboard.
So you have
Yeah,
to
so
hold
that's
it
one
down.
of the problems.
Pardon?
If you're going to be using the Oculus, I think we're going to have to suggest that people don't wear too much makeup.
Right, and that was one of the things that I was thinking of too before.
Well, here you go.
Otherwise, you're going to
Yeah.
get a bit of a face on it.
Right, so for volunteering, I'm wondering if should have some sanitary wipe for the,
Yeah, that's
The
what we
thing
gotta
itself
get is for this.
yeah. Like I say, my makeup is on this cardboard piece now.
Oh, you're buying it.
Where is it? I can't.
What?
That's it. You're gonna have to buy it. You smudge, you buy.
It's smudgy. Smudge, hey Smudge, is that my new nickname now? Smudge.
Hope I can see Selma. Perfect. Selma's perfect.
Not even in the
She's
parallax.
not even in the parallax or anything.
Now you keep saying that word parallax. What does parallax mean?
Yeah, you just when you're too close to the camera, you can sometimes disappear. It's like
Oh, okay.
I guess, but you don't
Actually, you know
disappear.
what? This turned out
You were
really.
in, you didn't disappear even though you were really close to it.
Oh,
No, we'll just.
oh, you're looking at that
Throw a film right
bit
on
that
the
you just recorded.
Yeah.
Use your back as a screen.
It works
Oh,
at the
yeah.
beginning and then at the end
What is
something
that
wrong
stuttering?
goes.
I don't know.
Something weird goes at the end.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. Anyways, that you have to look. You have to look at what we just shot. It's quite cool.
So this is the same kind of technology that Zuckerberg is showing on Facebook when he says
Well,
the
you can-
360
Yeah,
stuff.
you can look at 360. I'll show you on my phone.
You see the guy in the image? Oh, there he is.
Okay, so I'll show you. So I'll show you a video that I made. Okay.
Raise that one.
So here's one that
Oh,
I
yeah.
made. So if you look
Oh,
here,
okay, so if I
you
go
can-
to that on
you can
on
just walk
YouTube.
around. Yeah, you can go to that on YouTube. Here, I'll just go from the beginning. Now, what you'll see, if you look, you'll see. I mean, it's not magnified, right? But you see the geese?
Yeah.
Now look the other way. Turn around the other way. Oh. See the geese are coming on both sides of the camera,
Oh, okay.
and then they're all just going into the water.
Oh, yeah.
So, like that was a 360
So you-
shot that
you
we have.
use
You
this
can look.
To do that.
Yeah, I used that shot. So, and there's our rig. We used a different little tripod.
Oh, he never
Okay.
fixed it.
And then, but there's the geese. They're all just coming in. So you just you can look all around. So you can just watch, like, look at the whole shot 360. I haven't figured out how to make it go with the two eyes so that you can do it in the cardboard. Yeah, and you can look at, you can tilt it up and down. You can tilt down and you can see. So that's
And there's some deer. Oh no!
Oh,
Well, there's the
no,
geese.
yeah, it's
So
all
everything
the
looks
geese.
so they look so big.
They're coming on both sides. Yeah, actually, that shot
Oh,
in
there.
there on the Oculus is really great. Anyway, I think that's the end of our show.
Thank you so much. I have a question about the. You know that the non-stitching ones, like the Rico or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and it's more for streaming. Are there any non-stitching 360 cameras that are higher quality, like not for
I think
streaming?
there's some that are like we did some research, and I don't think that it's quite yet.
Not there yet.
I don't think it's quite there yet, but sometimes you don't have to have it. Like people
Yeah.
put up videos
It's
that
all
are
fine.
great, and it's on your phone. It's like really, what doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
But with the Rico, you can do this thing with the glasses and everything too. Like
Yeah.
you can make a video that you watch. Through the
yeah,
glasses.
because you can edit it afterwards, right? And there's all kinds of plugins for the different editing systems, but the regular editing systems can edit that. The thing is that that's a whole other like little workshop, but I can show you that we have the I just use it in Final Cut, but I just edited it so it looks square. And then I just edited it, and then I output it as a thing, and it reads it. But to put it on YouTube, you just had to put this little computer program. It was like a free download. It's called Reject the Mode.
So the way we just looked at that, like the geese, versus the way you look at something through
Yeah.
there, could you look at that video through glasses and it would be?
Yeah, it would all be
It would still.
If I look at it on the Oculus, yeah, you have to put it in the right thing. But in my editing program, unless I download a fancy plugin, it would make me be able to like look at it like that, which it costs like $1,000. I just edited it with that big square weird picture, the stitched one. So I just picked parts that I wanted, and then I cut to the next shot. Then I exported it, and then so YouTube knows that it's a 360. You just have to add this information to it, and it's a really easy process. So
The stitching was way easier than I was expecting. Like I was imagining some crazy manual process. Like,
Yeah.
Where you're like
no.
lining things up.
It's just that when it works and you do the thing, turn it or use a thing, it's like simple. It's like anything but then when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so we had, like, for example, we had this really long shot. We went to Mission Island and we filmed this guy who comes over deer. And it was like an 8-minute shot. Well, GoPro breaks up every shot into 4 gigabytes. So then we never synced it. So then we thought, oh, well, we should do a tail syncing at the end if we go over like 8 minutes. But then Calais found a program where you can just edit those shots together. so then so that they're all together. It reassembles each shot into its own shot.
I can see how all the technology is going to progress really quickly in the next.
Yeah, and maybe we won't need this stitching. But for now, we can do like awesome stuff. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yay. Oh. So you can turn this off?
So you've been live streaming this poorly the whole time. I don't know why neither you or you guys bothered to read this. It says that you have a low keyframe frequency, which means that you're getting this bad buffering for people trying to watch it. Luckily, only one person ever watched the stream.
Oh, okay.
But you've been streaming a very bad
That's why
quality
we
stream
recorded
that didn't
it,
work.
and
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to have like somebody who is streaming all our workshops. And
Well,
who,
somebody
like,
needs
who
to
is-
know how to do this.
Yeah, so that's what
Don't look at me
we. Okay.
for that.
No, you're gonna do this.
Okay.
Which is just putting the headset on people. And
I don't want to
having
be
it loaded.
streamed though.
No. We're not streaming this.
Okay,
and
good.
From now on, this was just the workshop.
Because you guys keep doing that, I don't like it. Okay, I don't know how to turn this off. I mean,
This is the controller, so just say stop recording.